Going to the movie theater is an experience unlike any other, but many people enjoy watching films in the comfort of their own home. In the living room, you're in complete control, being able to fast forward through the boring scenes, rewind to watch the awesome part again, and hit the pause button whenever you choose. Especially today, with shared movie universes and crossovers becoming the norm, Easter eggs are more prevalent than ever in major Hollywood productions, and it's easier to dissect each frame of the picture when you can freeze it for as long as you like. Sometimes, your eyes need to make sure they really saw what you thought. Here are the 10 most paused scenes in popular movies. The Wolf of Wall Street. Long before she became Harley Quinn in the DCEU, Margot Robbie turned heads in Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street, co-starring as Jordan Belfort's sexy and seductive wife, Naomi. Several scenes in the film required the actress to show some skin, and one in particular had viewers reaching for the pause button. Following an argument, Naomi says Jordan can't touch her for a very long time and teases him by showing off a new look. With Naomi's legs spread out, Jordan points out a security camera he installed in a teddy bear, meaning his wife was flashing his security guards. Naomi closes up quickly, but not before everyone gets a look. Star Wars. Stormtroopers are some of the most mocked villain henchmen in all movies. They are notorious for their horrible aim and frequently let the heroes escape so they can defeat the Empire, but one Imperial soldier got it worse than all the others. In A New Hope, as the Stormtroopers enter a doorway looking for the rebels, one of the troopers on the right hits his head and went down in infamy. The blooper became so iconic that George Lucas augmented the sound effect in the special edition to draw attention to it, and purposefully had Jango Fett hit his head in Attack of the Clones as a callback. That extra may have screwed up in his moment, but he still got to act in Star Wars. Jurassic World. Director Colin Trevorrow decided to flood his Jurassic World with product placement in order to offer commentary on the modern corporate-sponsored world we live in. This provided the opportunity for a good number of jokes, including an amusing one near the end during the pterodactyl attack. You may notice a man who's being very careful with his drinks, making sure neither of them spills as he runs for cover. That person is none other than Jimmy Buffett, the famous singer of the song Margaritaville, who also launched a line of restaurants with that name. It's a cool Easter egg that music fans should get a kick out of. Basic Instinct. Sharon Stone was the sex symbol of the 1990s, and she more than earned that reputation with her turn as Catherine Trammell in Basic Instinct. The scene has now become the stuff of legend. While being interrogated by police, Catherine decides to flaunt her sexuality in order to distract the officers. All it took was a simple cross of the legs, and everyone was stunned in silence. We have to think that many men who saw this sequence had a reaction similar to that of Wayne Knight, trying to catch a peek before becoming embarrassed and trying to resume a sense of normalcy. Iron Man. It's easy to laugh at now, but there was a time when the Marvel Cinematic Universe was seen as overly ambitious, and some doubted it could even work. To their credit, the filmmakers took things slow in the beginning, dialing back on their now customary Easter eggs and connections. The first Iron Man movie is low on references to other Marvel properties, but there is one that got many comic fans excited. As Pepper walks in on Tony Stark removing the Iron Man suit for the first time, a prototype of Captain America's shield can be seen lying on his table, a hint that Marvel had greater things in mind. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. If adolescent men in the 1980s had a crush, chances are it was most likely Phoebe Cates. One viewing of Fast Times at Ridgemont High makes it easy to see why. In arguably the film's most iconic sequence, she emerges from a swimming pool, soaking wet in a red bikini, and undoes her top. It's a very brief scene and was only the daydream of Judge Reinhold's character, but for many teens in the audience, it was an impactful moment that was very real for them. Cates was reluctant to shoot the scene, but several moviegoers are happy she went through with it. Raiders of the Lost Ark. During a tense moment in the first Indiana Jones film, our hero has a rocket launcher pointed at Belloc and his team, threatening to blow up the Ark if they don't free Marion. As Indy's rival gapes in amazement at Jones's persistence, a fly just happens to land on his face and begins crawling up his chin. With actor Paul Freeman in the middle of a line delivery, the insect finds its way directly into Freeman's mouth, never to be seen again. Nobody knows for sure why Steven Spielberg went with this take for the finished film, but the detail is easy to miss unless you're looking for it. With viewers so caught up in the drama, they'd be forgiven for not seeing the fly. Man of Steel. The climactic showdown between Superman and General Zod bordered on being sensory overload with all that was going on, but attentive eyes were able to catch some sly references to other DC characters. The most notable one came when Superman and Zod took their fight to space and wrecked a satellite that was flying around. It's a blink and you'll miss it detail, but the satellite clearly has the Wayne Enterprises logo on it, revealing that Batman exists in this universe well before Batman vs. Superman was ever announced. For many DC fans, it was a dream come true and teased that tremendous things were on the way. Fight Club. The twist in Fight Club seems obvious on a rewatch, and director David Fincher was trying to give the whole thing away from the beginning. Throughout the first act, there are numerous instances where Tyler Durden shows up for a single frame, as the narrator is at work or in a doctor's appointment. It's supposed to signal that Tyler is in the narrator's mind, begging to be unleashed. Those of us who noticed this the first time around were just waiting for the narrator to have that realization, and few could argue that the results were anything less than explosive. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Luke Skywalker is in just a single scene in the saga's 7th episode, so fans can be forgiven if they spent a little too much time analyzing it carefully for clues about the character. When he first appears, Luke is standing next to what some believe is a gravestone for someone close to Luke. Others think it's just a shaped rock on the mountain, but since there's no close-up of it, it's difficult to say for sure. Luke's post-Return of the Jedi history has been the subject of much debate ever since Episode 7 was announced, with details of his activities hard to come by. Until Episode 8 reaches theaters, viewers will just have to keep theorizing. Those are our picks for some of the most paused movie moments. Which ones did we miss? Sound off in the comments below and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more fun videos.